I'd spoken to Vince beforehand. He said there would be landscapers there. He would not let me release business cards to anyone unless they asked me for one.
How old were you at the time?
23.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Roots of Success, the premier landscapers podcast that brings you the latest tips and strategies for successful landscape business. I'm Jim Cali, one of the principals and coaches of McFarlin Stanford. Jason New and I started McFarlin Stanford to coach landscape businesses after years in the industry ourselves. Now, more than 10 years since we began, McFarlin has a deep bench of coaches and subject matter experts who work with our clients on very specific issues of business. Whether you're struggling with people, profits, or just day-to-day challenges, our coaches and guests have the real-world experience and practical advice to help you build a thriving and profitable landscape business.
All right. Welcome to another Roots of Success podcast. We're here to have a backstory between the partnership between Grow Group and McFarlin Stanford. So we're excited to share how this partnership has made the ACE peer group program successful, and also what the future holds for the ACE network. And so we're excited to have us all here today together. And so we're going to make some introductions to make sure you know who here is with us. Vince, I'm going to start with you, and we're going to come around the table. Please introduce yourself, and of course, for our audience who doesn't know you, a little bit about your background, and we'll move to the next person.
Yeah, I'm Vince Torchia. It's my 15th year at the Grow Group. Marty and I are partners in the Grow Group together. I am not only a partner with Marty in the Grow Group, but I'm also an ACE facilitator and have a role at Grunder Landscaping Company. So I get to see and meet with all of our peer groups and work with them, which is an awesome thing. Get to be involved in Grunder Landscaping Company and then help run our Grow event, which I know we'll talk about more today, but thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Chris.
Yeah, so Chris Psencik, excited to be with everybody today. I'm one of the partners at McFarlin Stanford as well. Going on our 10th year, and very excited to be a part of everything we've been able to help create and the momentum that's come from all of that. I have the privilege, I facilitate 5 of our ACE groups and spend a lot of time getting to work with a lot of really great individuals. And in addition, I kind of help coach all of our operations and sales teams. And so really excited about what we're putting together and kind of getting to share the conversation today.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
I'll second everything they just said about the ACE program and where we're going. But my name is Jim Cali. I'm one of the founding principals of McFarlin Stanford. ACE coach, ACE facilitator. Excited to be a big part of the program. And my background happens to be that I spent some time in the landscape industry prior to founding McFarlin Stanford with Jason, meeting these guys, and now a facilitator for the ACE peer groups, and get to share our stories of success, the wins, the losses, and bring that into the peer group program and learn from our peer group members today.
Fantastic.
Marty Grunder, so I'll third what. There's not much more to add. A couple little tidbits. I started Grunder Landscaping Company 41 years ago as a way to make money for college. Started the Grow Group 31 years ago. It was called Marty Grunder Inc. I know, real creative name. Rebranded as the Grow Group, I believe, Vince, in 18. Vince's partner. Him and I have a lot of fun there. I started the ACE peer groups 25 years ago. ACE stands for Accountability Creates Excellence, and I'm just amazed at what it's turned into. So I'm excited to talk to you both about that. So, and then I also am the founder of the annual Grow meeting, which started out as 14 people, and today's grown to about 1,200 attendees at that event. So awesome. Glad to be here.
Thank you. And I'm Jason New, also a facilitator. Work with 4 peer groups now, also working with the coaching capacity and some other things that we help kind of extend some additional help with our ACE network. And so also co-founder with McFarlin Stanford. So we're all happy to be here today. And so I'd like to take the backstory and start with this. And so Marty, you'll be the first to really jump into this to help us understand, how did the ACE idea and concept begin? What did that look like?
You want the truth, or you want me to tell the marketing version?
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Well, it was, let's see, the year was 1996 or thereabouts, and slightly after that. And I had built a new home, and I was trying to figure out how to pay for it. And so I started looking at, like what any entrepreneur does, like what are other things I could do to expand my service offerings? And I always thought that it's lonely out there running a business together. It's just lonely. Right. And you have your team, but really, Jason, who do you have that's going to hold you accountable? Who do you have conversations with? Maybe your banker, maybe your spouse, maybe some buddies, but my buddies always tell me everything I'm doing is great. I got one friend that'll tell me, you're an idiot, what are you doing? But most of my friends, everything I tell them, they're just like, I don't know. They're like, that's great. I'm happy. They don't offer me any feedback. So I thought it would be awesome to have an environment, and I had seen mastermind groups where business owners from different businesses would get together, and I never partook in one of those, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could put together a group of just landscapers, and we would work through our business. And because I had already been doing Grow about 10 years, I had some really good relationships, and this is before there was Snapchat and texting and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of amazing that even the relationships I had, which were all pretty much personal interactions and phone calls, okay? Wow. And letters, like that you mail. I know, I'm showing how old I am. And so I sent it out. I said, I'm looking for 10 people, and I got immediate responses. We immediately filled the group up. And the first time I had the meeting, I knew we had something. Now, our meetings with what we've done with you folks and how we've gone, it's like I'm watching what we're doing now, and I'm like, I get a little teary-eyed thinking that, this little thing that I started has turned into, I mean, we do a world-class job with our meetings now. They didn't start out that good, but the key thing that we do, getting together with other risk-taking peers, the sharing of information in a confidential setting, and even that experience that we talk about, that was a foundational principle because I never liked it when I would get mad when somebody would tell me what they thought I'd do with my business, and they never had a business of their own. And part of that is my own thing that needs treatment. Like, why would I get so fired up about that? But some of that, as Vince will tell you, is good. That energy is good. I just got to learn how to control it, which at 57, still trying to figure out a way to do it. But that's where the group started. And I quickly saw great benefit. And I still today, even though things have changed, there weren't Zoom and Teams and WebEx and all those platforms to communicate with online. I still think nothing beats the personal, one-on-one interaction with other risk-taking peers that you can talk about things. When I was a young parent, I share everything with my wife, Lisa, now. When I was a young parent, I didn't withhold information from her. I might tell her I was struggling, but I probably didn't tell her that I'm struggling and I really don't know what to do. Because she's a young mother and she, I'm like, I don't need to, I was learning as a dad and a husband. I didn't keep anything from her, but if she said, how's business? I'd say it's not great, but then I didn't get into the fact that we don't have any money for payroll next week, so I may be having to dig into the home equity line, Yeah. I didn't go that far because I just thought that if I have to do that, I'm not going to do it without telling her, but I'm not going to tell her now.
Right.
And so, it just, today when I see what's going on, it's not that much different. We do a much better job. It's a much deeper thing. I think the big difference in the group with what we do today versus when I got started, like, I didn't have solutions to the problems. Now we have so much experience amongst our facilitators and, quite frankly, 200 plus members. There's not too many things that we're like, oh, I have no idea what you should do next.
Right.
I mean, we're going to group think it over the finish line and help you. So it's been a great journey, been a blast, and can't say enough good things about working with you two. Vince and I have enjoyed it. It's been a blast.
Well, I'd love to hear how young Vince got involved into the Grow Group and how that helped form some of the early foundations.
Okay, well, I'm going to say a prayer here real quickly. So Vince started out as my intern, and I don't know how much time we want to take with it, but there were 4 young people that I interviewed for an internship, and I told Professor Dickey, Irene Dickey,
Yeah.
I told her, I really want Vince, and she goes, oh, everybody wants Vince. She's like, I don't know. He's got like Merrill Lynch. She's listing all these companies, and I'm thinking, yeah, he's going to really want to go work in a trailer that overlooks a chicken coop in the city of Miamisburg next to Grunder. That's true.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't it? It did overlook a chicken
It did,
coop. Am I
yep.
correct? Okay. And but I was like undeterred by that. I thought maybe I can paint a vision, and I painted the vision like what I was trying to do. And I don't want to say it was made up, but like I was kind of vision casting on the spot.
Right.
And he listened to me, and he started out helping with social media, gradually got into some bookkeeping, a bunch of really basic stuff. And from the day I worked with him until today, I mean, he's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. This is the truth. We've never been in an argument. We've never raised our voices at each other. It's not to say we don't have disagreements, but we know how to do it professionally. And Vince may tell you how much he's learned from me. I've learned just as much from him. I don't look at him as being, I'm old enough to be his dad. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as colleagues. We have skill sets in different areas. And I think we've both developed together on the journey that we've had. You know, when you do the peer groups, as long as we've been doing them, you learn a lot. And you see behaviors out of people. And I think if you're smart and you're really interested in getting better, you observe someone's behavior and you say, oh, I hope I never act like that in front of someone else. Like, that would be terrible. You know how many times I've seen somebody the way they're acting and I'm like, oh my gosh, I do that. I got to write that down. Like, what am I doing? Seriously, like incredible epiphanies. So Vince has been a boon, and the business is not just, I'm not the vision caster. The vision for the Grow Group is Vince and I together now. In fact, I'd argue the last 5 years, more of what we're doing has to do with what he has seen and he thinks is possible than me.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
It's a great story. Well, I love how we came together, we met at Grow a while back. And so, Jim, I'd love for you to share the story.
You still kind of smell like kerosene.
That's my
You smell like kerosene. That's because we spoke at Grow when they gave us the outdoor patio with a broken kerosene heater.
It belts like every 10 seconds.
Thank you,
And
Vince.
I was sick. It was all on top. It was a great day. The best part about that day was to our naivete, we didn't know anything about Grow. I came the afternoon before and said, hey, Jason, tomorrow we're going to speak out on Complete Land Sculpture. We've got to give 10, 12-minute presentations. And he's like, when, why, how, and what did you sign me up for? Well, it's okay.
There was other words that were said. I remember that. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's a positivity thing. So we literally learned a little bit more about the program that night. I'd spoken to Vince beforehand. He said there would be landscapers there. He would not let me release business cards to anyone unless they asked me for one.
What an attorney.
How old were you at the time?
23.
Oh, yeah. I honestly thought he was in his 40s. I didn't really look at. I'd seen you, but I had not seen Vince, and so I said, Jason, don't worry. We'll write the presentation tomorrow morning. He's like, when? I'm like, on the way. We'll get it done. So we took a flip chart. We opened up the back of the SUV and literally wrote the presentation that we're going to give all day long. We gave the presentation all day long. Attended the end of the meeting with you guys with Complete Land Sculpture to talk about the progress that they'd made over some time working with us as coaches, and there was definitely a synergy. The feeling that when we met, I liked you much better than him because you were much more welcoming in the beginning than Vince.
He was heavy.
True colors.
Yeah. Definitely more welcoming, but there was a synergy instantly. We were talking the same language, maybe had different approaches to things. You were receptive to our approach to things. We learned from you, and that's where it all came from because we got together to talk about, listen, we've got the same type of clientele. We do like to get our hands dirty. How could we work together?
I'd love for you to share also some of the early wins as we started collaborating together, how this program developed, evolved, and how we, as a partnership.
Well, you and I, this is even pre-Chris, right before Chris got there, had talked about, it's one thing to one-on-one coach, but it's another thing to do it in a group, in a peer group setting. And we always worked well in groups beforehand, right? And so we had interest in learning how to run peer groups. We had asked other peer group leaders in our industry to teach us how to do it and partner, and frankly, every one of them said no. And they actually said a couple other words too. But when we talked to these guys about that, there was instantly, we think we could do something. So one of our first interactions was talking about, could we get involved in the peer group program? We believe we can grow this for you. We've got coaching clients that we know would go into a certain, into the ACE group program naturally. And can we do this together? And we all thumbs up, and we did it.
Vince, we were struggling because we couldn't keep up.
What were we going to do?
We had way more demand than we had capacity for.
I couldn't really be a facilitator. I was still learning and growing in my career. You were running Grunder Landscaping Company, had 2 groups. Like, it just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
But I remember our first discovery meeting in Dayton, Ohio at Aileron.
Yes.
We got 34 people to come. And we were like,
A number of those people are still here.
still in groups. We're like, oh, we can do this. There's something here. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So as we've grown, and
It seems like yesterday.
It does seem
It really doesn't. It seems like a really long time ago.
I think if we're sitting here, it seems like yesterday. I think if you look at the pictures, it seems like 40 years ago.
Exactly.
I got it going
Thanks,
on
Marty.
now.
And right here.
Yeah, it's going backwards on me too.
Yeah.
and we've continued to see this program develop. Some of the things that we want to share that people that did not attend ACE Connect. ACE Connect every single year. We have new program updates, new things that we're doing. Can you talk about some of the things that we're recently changing the program with just to improve the experience and to get a better support system for everybody that's in the work?
Yeah, Go ahead,
I
Jim.
was going to step in here real quick. Do you mind
Yes,
because we've been
please.
telling kind of a story here. I want to grab one piece.
Yes.
And when we got together that first time, because we don't really talk about this very much, we talked about how big this program could be.
Yes.
We talked about we could have 10, 15, 20 peer groups. I think 14 was our original
14,
target,
right,
right? And it wasn't just about a targeted number of peer groups. Our goal the entire time amongst all of us, and Chris is involved at this point, is who's going to be with the same group of people for 5 years? Like, we need to build groups that people can move, right? Because it's not about that one group. It's like, how do we build a network of, not necessarily based on specificity of maybe a silo of the type of work they did, but have the availability to grow and move into other groups and meet another set of 12, business owners, and to be a part of that piece there. And I think that's the part that I don't want to glaze over that, because that was our vision from the very first time we sat together. Like, how do we get a mass, build something like what we have today with our 19 peer groups, an annual event where you come in for continuing education, an event that when people feel like they've got enough out of the program that they can continue to come once a year and get continuing education because they're an ACE alumnus, renew their friendships, all those pieces.
The community is huge.
And so with that, like, wow, there we are, voila. And back to summit, a number of alumni in the room this week. We want the alumni to continue to return, join back in groups when their time's ready for them to get back into the nitty-gritty and details. But that was the very first meeting when we talked about this. We talked about the bigger picture of how that would look, and that's where we are today. Changes didn't mean that the changes piece is like we continue to change it.
It's so true.
Great point. We just 9th anniversary this year, so very exciting.
Yeah, and we sometimes gloss over some of the wins, right? We don't sit down and celebrate all the things, but you're right. If you put us in a time machine and put us back at Aileron in Dayton, Ohio in 2017,
I don't even remember.
and we're like, hey, by 2025, you're going to have 19 peer groups and be on your 9th ACE Summit.
Yeah.
We'd be like, you're crazy. But here we are, right? It all happened the way we wanted to. So you bring up community, which is a great point to Jason's comment. We've got big changes coming to the peer groups this year, all related back to community. So the beauty about having all these members is that we get feedback. And so we get feedback about the program and feedback about things that they maybe aren't sure exactly how they want them to take shape, but they know they need. So the one big update this year is more engagement with their teams. So we've, this year at ACE Connect, launched our first leaders peer group. That is for non-owners. So based on the department or the division that they operate in, they can be in a peer group of their peers, whether they're in finance, sales and marketing, HR, or operations. They can be in a peer group of other leaders from other companies who are not owners. So a great opportunity to learn with peers and have a facilitator that can guide you through that.
All in that ACE network, though. I mean, we're not letting people come in from the outside.
Correct.
You have to have a principal owner in the ACE program to be a part of that new
For
program.
active ACE member companies. So
Yep.
you can imagine your owner's in a peer group. They've got great sales team members, operations team members, HR, finance team members. Now they can be put in a group based on their divisions and departments and skills and grow there. So that was a great update. The other piece of that, which Chris is going to lead, which we're really excited about, are the other learning opportunities for teams via monthly webinars. So every month, the ACE Peer Group Network will lead a webinar for owners and their teams so that their teams can grow and get education. So they don't just have access to us at a Grow event or even at an ACE Connect event. Chris will be beaming into their conference room every month with one of our other facilitators or guest speakers or coaches to talk about maintenance sales, maintenance ops, constructions ops, marketing, planning for next year, your top 10 takeaways, all those pieces that we want to talk about. We can come into your office every month and do that on. So that's a great way that we're going to re-engage with, again, not just owners, but their teams as well. We've also introduced this year another ACE Advantage partner, which we're really excited about, Greenius by Granum. So many people are familiar with Greenius, the training platform from Granum, but we're leveraging our ACE network that's now almost $1.5 billion of combined revenue. We're leveraging that spend with Granum and Greenius to bring discounts to our members. So the training that you were thinking about paying for, maybe you already have, you're going to get a discount on just because of the ACE network that we have, which is really exciting. We've also instituted for the first time a formal honor code. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of core tenets, core values that we have as ACEs, mostly around confidentiality and sharing experience. But as the program has grown with more members, we want to continue to raise the bar of professionalism for our ACEs. So we're putting everybody on a professional notice. You're going to be held to a higher standard. Yep. Based on the professionalism, ethics, responsibilities, and all the integrity that we know needs to be present for companies. And we're putting them on notice to re-engage with that on an annual basis. So another exciting announcement that we have this year is the ACE Peers app. So it's taking all of the things that we do from a communication and community standpoint with our ACEs and locating it into either an iPhone or Android app or a web-based platform. So whether it's the group text or the side emails or I couldn't find that agenda or I can't find my financial metrics or did you send this out already, It's all co-located for members in one convenient space that they have access to and we have access to. So that ACE Peers app is a great update for this year as well.
I love that. Bring technology to make this easier for us to better support our members and have a good experience. So,
And Jason,
love
add on to that, though, that your capture of the content from the meetings and that it's accessible for them in the future is really a big piece of that.
Well, a big part of that is we have so much great conversation and discussions. It's hard to remember everything unless you're just perfect at writing things down.
Right.
It doesn't happen. And so we found a way to record and bring that back to you as a membership. And so just for your peer group, you'll be able to get to all the notes and the things that you want to get to.
Oh, I mean, we're seeing so much already with how fast you're able to get the information and take it back to your office. The little things you forget in a site visit and little things you forget in our start stop keeps that they all fall through the cracks at the meeting, but now we can capture all this information that you now can take something with.
You can pick up your phone and do it.
Yep.
You don't have to have your iPad or a laptop. You can get it in there,
Oh,
too. It's mobile
right.
enabled.
It's amazing how much more effective it is.
Yeah.
Well, ACE Connect is one of our powerful major meetings in a year. Another one that we like to talk about and make sure that we have a backstory around is Grow. We do Grow every single year, and that happens in February. It's coming up. And Chris, maybe you can talk through a little bit more about what Grow is and how it impacts this community and how it helps our industry.
Yeah, so it's funny, Marty and I were talking about a little bit today when he was talking about what Grow was 31 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
And it's just funny to think about what that meeting looked like 31 years ago, what it looked like 10 years ago, and what it looks like today. Just how far that conference as a whole has come. I mean, I got involved with it, 2016, I think was the first one we attended. The first one I attended was Dayton, Ohio. And I mean, we don't rock the sweaters like we used to at Marty Grunder Inc. But the sweater vests are
I'm
gone.
a fan of the sweater vest. I understand exactly
Yeah.
where you're trying to pull out.
Get your heart out, Joe Cellini.
Yeah, I'll never forget Joe Cellini confronting me about my sweater. But
I
you know,
thought I looked pretty suave.
You did.
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, but it's been so. I think what I love most about Grow is the connectedness that taking the ACE community to an event like that and then being able to involve your team in that.
Right.
And just the level of depth you can go into as an organization when you bring your team to that. And when you bring your team to that, they get to see and talk and experience exactly what you're seeing in a peer group, and they get to relate to that and then understand, why does he always come back so jacked and excited with a list of 500 things ready to take on the world?
Well, how many breakouts are there?
I mean, this year, I think we're slated to have 30
plus,
35
yeah.
breakouts this year.
Right.
And so it's exciting because we get to be a part of those breakouts. And
Right.
McFarlin Stanford has a huge piece in providing the educational content. Vince and Marty have a tremendous piece of providing just that oversight and that guidance of where we want to take this thing. And then everybody else that gets involved to help us just provide that continual level of education, and so much of what we're doing. I think my favorite part about Grow is the industry's changing, and it's changing very fast. And I think we would all agree in the peer groups, as facilitators, in the last 5 years, I think it's changed more in the last probably 18 months than it has in the last 10 years.
Right.
And so that change is happening so fast. And things we're talking about today, we did not talk about 3 years ago. We didn't talk about them 12 months ago. And this is your way to stay in touch with that. This is your way to stay up to date with what's going on and understand how the industry is moving and what and how are your peers responding to that. And so it's exciting and it's fun. And I wish this would have been here, and I wish I'd have known about it early on in my career, that I could have gotten
Right.
involved with that.
Well, what did it look like, Chris? I think you asked the question, Marty. What were the first Grows like?
Oh, my gosh. The first Grow was at the Dayton Convention Center in a little breakout room. 14 people came. It was a 2-day session. I remember Bobby Wirtz. Hello, Bobby, if you're listening. He showed up with one of those giant suckers you buy at the candy store that's like it's a circular pinwheel. And he's standing there and he goes, well, either I'm a sucker or you are. Here you go. And that didn't get it started off too well. And at the end of the first day, I think they were the suckers, because I asked them how we were doing, and they said, this isn't real good. And I'm like, oh, boy, what have I done? I went home that night. I talked to Lisa. She said, how'd it go? I said, not real good. She's like, not real good. I go, no, bad. She's like, what? I go, yeah, it's not good. She's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. And I didn't sleep that night. I came back the next day to the convention center. Shockingly, they all showed up. And they said at the end of the day, that was a lot better. I don't even remember what I did. I think I just probably was a little more intentional about teaching and maybe amped it up a bit. I was probably intimidated the first day, but I do remember telling them at the end that we will do this again next year. And if you come and you don't like it, I will give you all your money back and I will buy you a plane ticket to fly home. Now, I don't even know if I could have afforded that at the time.
It sounded good.
It sounded good.
Yeah.
And 38 people came to the next grow. 9 of the 14 that came the first year came back, and it's grown ever since. And the thing that I'm like really sentimental about, Jeffrey Johns, who is an incredible landscape leader in the industry, just an incredible guy. He came to that first grow. I got a picture of me and him. We're embracing each other. And he still comes to grow today. And now 2 of his boys that weren't even born when the first grow was there are now involved in our peer groups, and they're involved with Jeffrey and his business. So it's really flattering for the impact it's made. And I'm just very grateful for the confidence that people have shown to come. I think it's to the point now where I think many will tell you it's the best educational event in the green industry. I know that's a little pompous, but I think that's not too far off. And it's just an amazing experience to know that we have this community. Every time when I get up on stage and I look out there, I get a little heated up thinking like all these people came here to work on their businesses, and it's just a different event. You just see people that are really into learning. It's not a go out and party, and I mean, people have fun, don't get me wrong, but it is a holistic approach to getting better at, with your landscaping company.
I think, Marty, to your point, it's also the best event to just see what's possible, because
True.
not only are you around other landscape professionals, all of our teams are all there for 3 days in full support.
Right.
So you may not have had access to a coach or a facilitator or a teacher before, but you come to grow during the breaks or during lunches or happy hours or booth times, you're going to finally get to talk to somebody who can actually help you move your business
And I think you
forward.
make a great point, because we always talk at Grow, don't go to dinner alone. I mean, you know me, I'm working the whole room. If I see somebody standing, I say, hey, what's your name? What are you doing? You can't do this. You got to, come on, I'm going to introduce you to one of my buddies over here. We get people like Gene Freeman that'll literally go to dinner with anybody.
Yep.
I would feel completely comfortable going saying, hey, this is Tim. It's his first year at Grow. He did $75,000 in business last year. It's a brand new business. Would you take him to dinner? And Gene will be like, yeah, sit
come
right
on.
next to me. Let's go. Do you drink Tito's?
Yes.
So, but it's amazing, Vince, and I think it can literally jumpstart your career. It can jumpstart your year. But I think it's where maybe a lot of people realize, like, I'm not on some island. Like, I don't have some strange disease.
Well, it's bigger than
Everybody's
me.
dealing with this. Exactly.
It's
right.
much bigger than me.
Right.
And that's refreshing when you're all alone.
Yeah.
Or even as a team member on it, knowing that there is a big network of people there.
Yeah.
Well, as we started looking at some other things, we've talked about major events, we've talked about where ACEs have come from. We found some other ways to expand our coaching and our services to really help the industry and really our members and their teams as they continue to grow. And Marty, I'd like for you to maybe share about some of the services that we've been able to help our network
Well,
with.
it's funny. I'm a very mature businessman now at 41 years. And one of the things that I wish McFarlin Stanford would have been around when I was in my 20s, because I would have hired you to do my bookkeeping. I would have hired you to do my recruiting. I would have hired you to coach. Like, when I was running business, getting a subcontractor or getting outside vendors, it wasn't embraced to the point it is now.
Right.
I think in today's economy, smart entrepreneurs know that I'd be better off subbing this stuff out and focusing my endeavors on landscaping, not doing all those other things. And I don't know, I have a great deal of confidence in recommending you to all of our clients. You guys get results. You're serious about it. I mean, today I'm listening to you talk about some QuickBook issues with the crowd, and I'm like, I have no idea what he's even talking about.
Right.
You gotta help me with that. I don't even want to do it.
Right.
And so I find what you folks do, you're really fitting in there in a niche. And I think oftentimes, Jason, there are things that companies don't even know they need help with.
Right.
Like the gentleman you were talking today, I don't think he realized he's got a little bit of an issue there.
He does.
And you were pointing it out to him. And that's what's,
But who else is going to give him that feedback?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what grow. That's what connects.
I think that's what there are bad consultants. Okay, I understand that.
Right.
But you get the right ones, and they can really help you move your business forward. And no different than AI. I think AI is a good tool, okay, but I don't think it's going to teach you how to meet with your clients better. And AI is not, hey, I'm going to send AI over to talk to you. What? No, it's not Star Trek, okay? I mean, this is, you have to do there. So if you can if you can figure out where you really have leverage points in your business. For me, it's meeting with my clients and it's meeting with my team. And anything I can do to have more time in those 2 slots, so if I can have them do my bookkeeping, I'm struggling to find a salesperson. What, are you going to go out and walk around your town and try to find a salesperson? Or are you going to let somebody like McFarlin Stanford use their tactics to go get it, which is much more professional, much more deep, better interviewing, better questions, higher chance for success with it? I just think that stuff makes a lot of sense.
And 100% focused on our industry.
Yes, right.
That's what we do. It's on the industry. So thank you for that. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think, Marty, too, to your point, I remember when Justin Bates came to Discovery in 2022 or 2023.
Our ace of the year.
And our ace of the year for this year, yep. And he was in a open session in Ace Summit at the time, now it's Ace Connect, and you were leading it, and he kept asking questions. And by like the third question, you paused, and I thought you were going to get mad that he kept asking questions. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I think I remember this.
But you said, does everyone hear the types of questions that Justin Bates is asking? Justin, I know I just got to meet you yesterday, but you are going somewhere, and I'm really excited for your future.
I remember that now.
Because he was dialed in.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really cool. So now, fast forward, 3 or 4 years later, he's now ace of the year.
Yep.
He, part of what has allowed him to be so successful, Marty, is to the exact point that you were talking about. He became a bookkeeping client at McFarlin Stanford, totally changed the confidence that he has, not only in the numbers, but he's able to rework his team because he had team members 50% doing accounting and books and office
They
management.
probably hated it.
And now we can repurpose them to be account managers or better office managers or better people inside of his business so that he can grow his business. Just to your point exactly, Justin comes to mind immediately as somebody.
No, that's a great story. I
who sees
forgot
this.
about that.
But I'll also say that whole team, that leadership team, they're in those financials every day.
Yes.
Because the data's correct.
Yep.
Right? So it's not like I'm outsourcing this and I'm not utilizing it, right? Because I think a lot of times people think about,
Well,
you go find my person from a recruiting
and
aspect.
I think it's, I think it's the same. Delegation does not mean abdication.
100, bingo.
It means you still, it doesn't mean, McFarlin Stanford's doing your bookkeeping. You better be doing a summary call with them, and you better be getting smarter.
Right. All the above.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
But that whole Bates leadership team is second.
Oh, they're amazing.
Well,
Absolutely amazing.
And I think it goes without saying, the exciting part about what we get to do is we get to see a lot of operations. We get to see it from a high level. We also get to get right in the middle of it.
Right.
And there's a lot of opportunities out there for people to tell you what you do wrong. And I think we see that a lot of people who just want to put on paper and say, here's all the things that are broken. Here's what you need to fix. Good luck.
Yeah.
And, we'll come poke you in the eye later. And that's always what I've had the most passion about what we're providing on the back office side of it is we're solving the problem, creating solutions, and giving you the tools now to use it and move the ball forward because you were stuck. And now we can just solve this for you so that you can now do those things that Melissa and all
Start
them do.
landscaping again.
And do what you do best.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How about the classic, how you doing? I don't know. We'll find out at the end of the year. You know how that goes, don't you? I'm like,
No.
oh my gosh, no, I do not know that. You didn't just say that, did you?
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But some people don't know. Like, I wasn't a finance guy. Vince has got a finance background. I don't. I studied finance. I took the first finance class I took at UD. I got F for fail. And so that was out of the finance major and majored in management. That was more my cup of tea.
Right.
I know what I'm doing, too.
Right.
I'm not a complete moron, but I'm just saying, get other people. It's okay to find other people that are smarter than you in areas and spend your time doing what you do best.
Yep.
Absolutely right.
Well, that's really exciting, and really how I would see us as a powerful group of people that like to help and support. We have so many different backgrounds, experiences, skill sets as part of Grow Group and McFarlin Stanford and how we've grown together to support that. I mean, we've had now nearly 10 years of partnership.
This will be our 10th grow.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It'll
It
be our
is.
10th grow.
It doesn't seem like that.
I was just thinking about Megan and Tracy, our leadership coaches that work with us at McFarlin Stanford, and they constantly use the terms powerful partnerships to talk about two people working together. This is beyond a powerful partnership. This is the five of us together. And,
Well, we talk often about leverage, and 2 + 2 in math is 4.
Right.
But 2 + 2 with people can be 6, 8, 12. I guess it could also be -13. But you get the right people and you start leveraging.
Right.
There's all those things. I don't have your financial acumen. All right.
Right.
I never will. We all have something in here.
There's a lot. I can't push a mower.
Well, right. So, Chris,
I could try. Actually, I know I could push one. I can't
you're-
drive one. I think that's
Well,
the
no,
issue.
that's a good point, though.
Yeah.
Your degree's in business. Vince's undergrad's in business.
Right.
Law degree. You're a Hort guy. You're a Hort guy. I'm a business guy that's a Hort guy.
Yep.
The three of us are the most experienced landscape guys here at the table.
Sure.
But the amount of information they have learned about landscaping and what we've learned about business, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's leveraging the strengths.
You got it.
Yeah.
I was just reflecting on how many on-site meetings. I don't think people see the gravity of this. 19 groups, 57 on-site meetings this year.
God, wow.
If you think of it that way. We see a lot of things going well. We see a lot of things not
Trends,
going
all
well.
that.
But we can absolutely help someone get over their challenges.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I am so thankful for being a part of this partnership and what we've
Right.
accomplished over the last 10 years. I have learned so much and grown as a person and in my career. My ability to speak to people and articulate things that will help, and genuinely the relationships is what I value the most, and I genuinely love coming to work and what I do. So
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you guys for that.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Echo those sentiments. And if you look, what we've just been talking about, that we want our clients and our peer groups and other things to do, that's what we're doing here.
Yep.
I mean, you have enabled me to focus more on what I do best. I think when I get on stage and I lead things, I think that's my
Right.
superpower, and I do it well, and you guys put me in a spot to do this. Leading a discussion on finance, that's not my best thing. But there's just so much of that when you can slot people to where they can spend more of their time and their strengths. I think that's where a lot of the success can be found in business.
So as we wrap up, I know there's a lot of things we can share and talk about. We're going to be running out of time for today, but I just want to say if there's anything you guys want to have as far as closing remarks as we wrap up today.
I'm going to finish with something I think all of us say on a regular basis. We should do this more often.
Yeah.
We honestly, we don't sit together. I mean, we
Yes.
do phones here or there.
Yes.
We've got Teams call, but actually sitting in the same room, knocking knees together here at the table, we're better together. And I think that better together explains the partnership.
Yeah. Well, and we're reminded of the impact that we're making. I mean,
completely
you
agree.
folks I've been able to be more of an observer here at Ace Connect, and the program you guys have put on has just been fabulous. I mean, I'm going to do my close tomorrow. I already got things in my mind that I'm going to rock the house tomorrow, guys. There's some takeaways.
No,
So,
I want to echo everybody's sentiments, because whenever we get exactly what we were just talking about, it's so funny. We do need to do this more often. Whenever we're in peer group meetings and someone's talking about bringing on a new hire, or maybe we're going to buy this business, or we're going to find this partnership, I always use the same line. Yeah, because you guys can do more together than you ever could do apart.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, how do you think this has been so successful? It's the exact same principle.
Yes.
We could have separated our brands and done just fine and all that, but oh my God, we can do so much more together than we could ever do apart, and that's what I appreciate so much.
And so much of it's just the energy. Like, I mean, we've been here for the last 3 days. The energy that's in this room and what people are going to be able to leave and go home with. It's just, it's intoxicating.
I've
right?
I've had spouses come up to me and said, thank you the last 2 nights.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Nice.
It's
Their
so
husband's
exciting.
involved in the business. It's women, and you can imagine. I mean, how does that make us feel?
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do.
Exactly.
That's why I do what I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun to come to work every day. I love working with you guys.
All right, it's a deal. We're going to do this again.
I still don't like Texas A&M. War Eagle.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big week this week.
Okay.
No, I'm out.
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining today, and really all of us talking through the story of how we built this and how we're growing this. And so I just want to thank you for your time. I want to thank our audience and our guests for joining us and listening today. And so that's a wrap for us. That's another Roots of Success podcast, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Roots of Success, brought to you by the subject matter experts at McFarlin Stanford. Have a question you want our coaches to tackle in a future episode? You could submit that at mcfarlinstanford.com/podcast. And to find more helpful content from McFarlin Stanford, follow us on X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. If this or any of our episodes have piqued your interest in ACE peer groups, we encourage you to join us at ACE Discovery. Just check out the events tab at mcfarlinstanford.com. This is Jason New, co-founder and principal at McFarlin Stanford. We'll see you next time.